Welcome back to Falconer Raceway, everyone. Final event of the night. It's going to be the TROO Figure 8 cars going 30 laps, and their point standings are as such. Right now, leading points in TROO with 50 points, that's Kaz Freshie. Second to him is Michi Rossini, the Red Line Racing entry, with 48. 46 for Kato Kendrick, 44 for Fred Koolhoven, and rounding out the top 5 with 42 is Urantia Jewel. From there on down, Kibo Monroe, Falk Rao, Hemi Lover Sock, Bill Podalo, and Candy Tomorrow. Interesting thing of note this week, last week's winner, Kaz Freshie, not able to make it out to the races tonight, so he'll be taking a provisional, and the driver who took a provisional last week, Candy Tomorrow, is here tonight, and she's usually pretty fast in these, so we should see some very interesting changes in points. I'm going to go over the lineup for you, starting all the way down there on the inside. The Red Line Racing entry, number 99, Michi Rossini. Just outside of him in a very legit-looking van there, number 14. The Free Kittens Inside machine of Candy Tomorrow. And just outside of her, in the number 71, for Leadpaw Motorsports, that's Kibo Monroe, former winner in this division, as are the 14 and the 99 below him. So lots of former winners out there tonight. Next to him, 2X for FK Autosports, the SS Galaxy machine of Fred Koolhoven. And then outside of him, in the semi there, I believe... I would say it was a Peterbilt, but I'd probably be wrong. That is Hemi Lover 53 Sock. And next to him, in the number 27, VF Motorsports entry, that is Bill Podalo. And let's go back a little ways from there, starting on the inside at number 88 for Red Line Racing in the Kendrick Engines machine there. That's a car that I share with Kato Kendrick. He's in that car tonight. And just outside of him, number 107 for Two-Raw, Urantia Jewel. Starting shotgun on the field, number 6 for Local Dog Racing. That's Falk Rao in the Camaro. So it's going to be pretty interesting here. 30 laps, like I said. Looks like 9 cars out there. And they can start wherever they want, kind of a land rush start here. So we're going to get them underway. 10 seconds to green. And if I had to choose who's going to come out with the lead coming out of turn 1, it's probably going to be one of those cars up there on the outside, Podalo, Rao, or Hemi Lover Sock. And just as I say that, we have a big crash coming off of the left-hander as they head towards the right-hander. And I'm just going to hold my breath here for a moment. It looks like Falk Rao has the lead, but Podalo down to the inside forgets to brake going into 1, and Rossini comes back to the lead here on lap number 1. Urantia Jewel shakes out second. Falk Rao takes third from Kibo Monroe as they head into the right-hander. Bill Podalo misses the brakes again. He was going for third. He ends up in 9th. So Rossini, Urantia Jewel, Falk Rao, Hemi Lover Sock all in a row as they come across the stripe, and then a huge melee behind them. Battle for second starting to heat up. Falk Rao, last time we were here, he led a lot of laps, and he's definitely trying to make up for what happened late in that race. He's making a bid for second right now. And he tries to work his way under Urantia Jewel again as they head into the right-hander, but he's under pressure from Hemi Lover Sock at the moment. Jewel taking it nice and easy coming off the right-hander as he tries to chase down your leader, Rossini. Shaking out in 5th, the 14 of Tomorrow in the van there. And Kato Kendrick right back there in 6th, just behind her. Seems like a lot of the battling has settled down very early on in this race, and that means two things as Bill Podalo and Fred Koolhoven collect the wall. Those two things are that we're going to have a lot lower lap times as the cars are all soloed out, and as you saw there as we went through the intersection, we're also going to be encountering traffic very early on in this race. And what's interesting about this track is when you have that big wide turns 1 and 2 collision in the intersection, that's 14 Tomorrow, 2X Koolhoven, but as I said, you have the big wide turns in 1 and 2 and the very sharp turn number 3. That means you're not going to be crossing the same cars in the intersection every lap. And there are laps where you'll only be crossing cars going in one direction. So that definitely shakes this race up. You never really get a chance to relax or kind of predict how things are going to go at this track. As Rao collides with the 71 Monroe, both cars able to continue pretty much unabated. Your top 3, or I should say top 4, are all still in a row here. Rossini, Jewel, Rao, Sock, and Jewel in the intersection collides with Candy Tomorrow, former champion in the division. Both cars getting slowed up quite a bit. Falk Rao now shakes out second, and he's trying to chase down Rossini. Third is now Hemi Lover Sock, who's always a threat at this track on the figure 8. as well as the oval if tonight is any indication. So we're coming up on the 1/3 mark here. Heavy lap traffic for your leader. He's trying to work his way around the 71 of Monroe and the 27, Badalo. He shakes both in the left-hander. Rao getting in a little collision in the intersection, but he's able to recover nicely. And he sneaks through right there between the 2X and the 14. 107, Jewel sits third. He's under pressure from the 53, Sock. Those two trying to chase down Rao, as Rao is now trying to get around those two lap cars. Rossini continues to lead. Coming up on halfway, Rao collides with Tomorrow and Jewel. Both those cars stuck as the 2X of Koolhoven collides with the 53 Sock, and 88 Kendrick was trying to get around him. Sock punts him into the wall, so those two end up falling quite a ways back off that battle for second between Jewel and Rao. Those two just behind a collision there with the 71 and the 14. That's Monroe and Sock. Or, I'm sorry, Monroe and Tomorrow. I was looking at Sock talking about Tomorrow, and that shows when your announcer is kind of tired. Coming up on halfway here, Rossini still blazing a trail out front. He's got some lap traffic between himself and second place, Falk Rao. Rao trying to work around the 2X. That's Koolhoven. Koolhoven collects the inside wall, and Rao, here comes 107 Jewel up the outside. And into the right-hander they go. Rao holding the inside line. This is the battle for second. Here we go into the left-hander. Rao holding the inside here, too. Jewel still working the outside. They're right behind Bill Padalo, who is a lap down. They've fallen quite a ways back off of Rossini. As a matter of fact, I should say they'll be crossing him in the intersection pretty soon here if this continues. And Tomorrow collects the 6 of Rao. They're stuck together. Rao spins sideways. Tomorrow backs it up. And Rao rejoins the field, as does Tomorrow. Both drivers suffering a lot of time lost in that accident. As the 88 Kendrick works his way up through the field, he collides with somebody in the intersection as well. So the running order really shook up here on lap number 17. Rossini continues to lead, but behind him, Urantia Jewel sits second, Kato Kendrick up to third, Hemi Lover Sock sits fourth, and Falk Rao has fallen to fifth. Back behind them, Candy Tomorrow sits sixth at the moment. Bill Padalo up to seventh. As the laps count off here, Rossini definitely making it look easy out there. Normally, this is the kind of performance you see out of his teammate, the 14 Candy Tomorrow. She's having some very tough luck tonight, though. As you can see, Rossini's coming up on some very, very heavy traffic in the intersection. That could shake things up. Second place, Urantia Jewel is trying to get around Bill Padalo still. And third place, Hemi Lover Sock opens up a bit of an advantage on fourth, which is the 88 of Kendrick. Kendrick had a little bit of trouble in the intersection there. He's going to recover nicely, though. Jewel continues to hold second. Padalo collides with Koolhoven again. That's going to allow the 107 Jewel to get by him, as well as the 53 Sock. And 88 Kendrick also making quick work of him, but he almost collides with the 14 of Tomorrow. 6 Rao coming up behind Kendrick now. So that leaves us with 8 laps to go here for Michi Rossini, who's been almost flawless in this race so far. He works his way up around the outside of Bill Padalo and collides with him. He's going to lose a lot of time there. Bill Padalo in the wall, and he backs up right in front of the 6 of Rao and the 88 of Rossini, collecting both. Or I'm sorry, the 88 of Kendrick. Tired announcing is fun. I should have mentioned that Rossini is trying to get around the 14 of Tomorrow to put her another lap down. That is his teammate. I'm sorry, she has just unlapped herself, and he's working on putting her a lap down. She currently sits 6th with 6 laps to go. Urantia Jewel holds on to second. Hemi Lover Sock holds on to third. Kendrick up to fourth now. Falk Rao still in fifth with 6 to go. He collects the 71 Monroe. And now he comes under fire from Candy Tomorrow. That is the battle for fifth. Right in front of your leader there, Rossini. As Tomorrow collides with Sock, Rossini's going to put a lap back on her with 4 laps to go. Jewel trying to reel him in second. And Sock continues to sit third. It'll be 3 laps to go this time by for your leader. He's trying to put a lap on the 5th place car of Falk Rao. Meanwhile, Efred Koolhoven almost spins it in the intersection, and the resulting melee there collects your leader, Misha Rossini. He's able to continue, but Candy Tomorrow's all over him trying to get back on that lead lap. 2 laps to go for Rossini. Currently, he has a lead of about 3.7 seconds over 2nd place Jewel. Jewel's trying to battle with Keeble Monroe as they both go in opposite directions through the intersection. Candy Tomorrow gets back by Rossini, and she's trying to get around Falk Rao there for 5th. White flag out for Rossini, and he almost collides with Sock. He's got to get through that intersection just one more time here. It looks like traffic's pretty clear as he comes across. Efred Koolhoven spins out and parks it. And checkers are out for Misha Rossini. Urantia Jewel quietly coming home in 2nd. Here comes the battle for 3rd. Kato Kendrick all over the back of the 53 of Sock. Into the left-hander. Sock's going to hold on to it. Kendrick comes home 4th. And 5th looks to be Falk Rao. 6th going to Candy Tomorrow. Looks like the rest of the field isn't going to be able to make it across the stripes, so we'll manually end scoring here. Your winner, Misha Rossini. Total time on that race, 499.399 seconds. Finishing 3.7 seconds back from him is Urantia Jewel. 9.1 back for Hemi Lover Sock in 3rd. Kato Kendrick 9.4 seconds back, very close to Hemi Lover Sock. 5th to Falk Rao, 14 seconds down. And just behind him in 6th, Candy Tomorrow, last car on the lead lap. 7th goes to Bill Podolo, battling his way back up through the field. Finishing in front of 8th place Keeble Monroe, who just has had a really tough night tonight. Rounding out the field is going to be Efred Koolhoven, 5 laps down, having some trouble late in the race there, and parking his car. So that's going to be it for us tonight. Definitely some exciting action there, both on the oval and the figure 8. And take a look at our schedule of upcoming races. I do know this Wednesday the country stocks are going to be at Smartinville Raceway. This is going to be their first race there. Very, very long straightaways and tight turns at that track mean that it's going to be some very unique racing, so you definitely want to tune in and catch that one. As I load up the calendar here, the Dirt Series running a kind of limited schedule this season, I should say. We're only going to 5 tracks, but that doesn't mean the racing is going to be any less exciting, as next week we come to you from the short track at North Star. It is going to be a very interesting race. We've had 2 very big tracks so far, discounting Turn 3 here at Falconer, of course. So we're going to see how the drivers adapt to short track racing next week at North Star. That's going to be it for us tonight, so we'll see you Wednesday at Martinsville and next week at North Star.